Today, we are going to look at some of the rarest cards at PokeCollect. We're going to be ranking these cards 1 through 10 based on their rarity, their value, and their overall cool factor. Here at the store, we take in hundreds of cards daily, and we submit thousands of cards to companies like CGC and PSA to get graded every single month. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video because we've got a lot of cool cards to show you today, potentially with one being the only one in the world. Alright, so we are going to start off with number 10 on the list, and this is going to be my favorite card from V-Star Universe. This is going to be the Mew Art Rare and a perfect 10 from CGC. So this card right here is just absolutely gorgeous. This is the type of artwork that Mew deserves. It's a really nice looking card. So it looks like the pop report says that there's around 37 of these in the world right now in a CGC perfect 10. They're selling for around $200 on eBay right now. So rarity and value are okay on this one, but I think the cool factor definitely makes it to the list. All right, coming up next on our list is going to be one that is actually from Space Juggler. So we're going to take a look at this as an alt art. It is a Beedrill V. This one is a perfect 10 as well from CGC. We took a look at the pop report here, and there's actually only 8 of these in the world, so this one is significantly rarer than the Mew. I actually was unable to find any recent comps for the perfect 10, but there are some pristine 10s going for around $80, and typically with CGC on a perfect 10, there are no comps for the perfect 10. You can go with around 3x value of the pristine 10, and of course that depends on the card. But for this one, I would probably say that that's fair. Cool factor, this one definitely gets some points. That is just probably the best Beedrill card that's ever been printed. So this one definitely makes it to number 9 on the list. If you've seen our first and second video on YouTube, you already know what card is coming up next. This one is coming from a triple beat. We've got the Magikarp. We just pulled this on the channel out of our recent CGC submission. We were super hyped to get this one. Got that Gyarados hidden in the artwork. This one is just so cool. One of the best artworks I think Pokemon has ever done in general. And of course, with it being this new, it's going to be pretty rare. We'll have to check the pop report and see how many of these there are so far. So it looks like the pop report hasn't even updated on this card yet because it's so new. But I would say probably a lot of people are going to be submitting this card just because it is just one of the best looking cards just in Pokemon history, I think. They're selling for around $200 to $250 on eBay. Cool factor definitely gets this one to the number 8 spot on our list. All right, this next card is kind of a curveball here. So it's a little bit older. This is going to be a Gengar Japanese Web Holo. So this one isn't a PSA slab, the 7, but what an interesting card here. It is very rare. The pop report says that there's only 5 in a 7, but just the overall rarity of this card is very cool. There actually are no comps that we could find on eBay for this in a 7, but I would have to estimate this card is somewhere around $300 to $350. It's just a super cool card. Cool factor definitely bumps this one up. Gengar is definitely one of my favorite Pokemon. I know a lot of people love Gengar. And this one is just a card that you don't see too often. The holo pattern is just really cool. And this one makes it to number 7 on our list. Number 6 on the list is actually going to be 2 cards. And the reason we're doing 2 cards is because these came in the same submission. And they're very similar. And you'll see what I mean in here in just a second. But they both got a perfect 10. We have from V-Star Universe the Glaceon V-Star and a Leafeon V-Star. They both got a perfect 10 in the same exact submission. So it looks like the Leafeon has about 26 in a CGC perfect 10. The Glaceon's around 16. Both of them sell for around $200 each, $200 to $250. But because we got them in the same submission, I thought it was pretty cool to add them in the list as number 6. To get both of the Evolution art rares in the same submission as CGC Perfect 10s is pretty tough to do. So this is a really cool spot for number 6. Taking the number 5 spot is going to be a card that we've submitted in a pretty good amount of times, but only got it once in a Perfect 10. And here it is. This is the Reds Pikachu Japanese promo. There's actually about 45 of these on the pop report, so this one's going to make it to the list just based on cool factor. This is one of the coolest looking cards I think they've ever made, and it is a promo, but it's got the Galaxy Holo throughout the entire card. That alone with just the artwork on this card makes it to number 5 on the list. Looks like they're selling for around $300 to $350 on eBay. So it's just a really cool card. If you're a Pikachu collector, this is something that you just absolutely have to have. It would make a really cool centerpiece, and it's just one of the cards that's super unique. They haven't really made anything like this with that Galaxy pattern since. So this one makes it to number 5. Number 4 on the list comes from the same submission as the Leafeon and the Glaceon from V-Star Universe. This is another V-Star Universe card. This one's probably a little bit more popular. This one is going to be the Mewtwo V-Star Special Art Rare from V-Star Universe. So you have that Charizard in the background. This is the other perspective if you've seen the Charizard V-Star promo in English or the one from V-Star Universe in Japanese. In a perfect 10, this card is so cool. I believe there are 43 of these currently in existence. They're selling for eBay for over $400, so this is a very, very sought after card. This one definitely gets major cool factor points for the artwork and just the battle sequence on there. Two super popular Pokemon, so that's why it makes it to number 4 on our list. Okay, so the top 3 cards of this list are going to take a significant jump in value. For number 3, this is it right here. This card we sent in just one of, and it came back as another perfect 10. But just check this out. This is a Galarian Moltres V alternate art from Matchless Fighters. This card, I was absolutely shocked when I got a perfect 10 on the only one that we sent in. I don't know if we've ever sent in another one of this card, so to get it back in a perfect 10 is absolutely stunning. Just the symmetry on this card, the colors, one of the first alternate arts actually to come out from the Sword and Shield era. It looks like there's only 8 of these in a perfect 10 that exist in the world today. So this card does not have any current comps on eBay. There are some pristine 10s that are selling for over $400. This card I would estimate is somewhere around $1,000 to $1,200 if it were to sell at an auction or eBay or something like that. So again, the cool factor on this card gets some major points. It's super valuable, super rare, and that's why it makes it to number 3 on our list. This next card in our number 2 spot is going to make it to the list because it's a little bit special to us as PokeCollect. So this is actually a pre-release staff promo that we got from Vivid Voltage. This was actually the first and last staff promo that we got at the time, because if you don't know, what happened after they printed these staff promos was that Pokemon actually stopped printing staff promos. Now they've recently started doing that again, so you can get staff promos now, but at the time, they thought that they were not going to be printing any more staff promos. This isn't the rarest card in the world. There are over 200 of these in existence, but it does sell from anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 on eBay. So it definitely gets points for cool factor and value. And now it's time for our number 1 spot, and it is certainly deserving of that number 1 spot. This is a super rare card, and it has a very, very unique grade. This is going to be our first edition Shining Charizard, and you can see it at the top corner. This is an 8.5. So it's not a 9, it's not a 10, it's an 8.5. So what that means is that the population of this card is significantly lower than a 9 or a 10. To give you an example of how rare this card is, there are 331 of this card in a 9, but there are only 11 in an 8.5. So since this card is so rare, there are no comps on eBay at the moment, but we would estimate this card to be worth somewhere in the neighborhood around $3,500 based on 9s and the rarity of this card. So this card definitely deserves the number 1 spot in today's list because of the value, the rarity, and the cool factor is just through the roof. So our number 1 spot does go to the Shining Charizard 8.5. We're also giving away an ultra tier mystery graded card to 1 lucky subscriber. All you have to do to enter is like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and comment down below your favorite card from today's video. But hang on, we've got one more card to show you, and it just might be the only one that exists in the world. That card is going to be, we have it here, it might just look like a regular Radiant Charizard, but CGC actually grades error cards. And believe it or not, we did not know that this was an error card until we sent it in and got it back. So the error on this card is actually missing texture on the front face here. And we have scoured the internet to try to find this card and have not been able to find this card at all, let alone graded as a pristine 10. So CGC does not do a pop report for error cards, so this could very well be the only one in the world. Well, that's it for our top 10 list. Let us know down in the comments below what card was your favorite from today's list. We want to thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and if you want us to help support the channel, check out our PokeCollect auctions. We're always auctioning off cards just like the ones that you saw in today's video, and sometimes you can grab a really good deal. The link is in the description below.